Hey everyone, Jason here with Phase Shift Games. Very excited. We're back from Essen, which is actually why my area is kind of overloaded and crowded at the moment. It's a bit messy, but really happy to be back home. Had a tremendous trip at that convention. It was an awesome time. Highlights, certainly seeing so many backers come up, prior backers of Dungeon Drop, current backers of Drop Drive, who we were able to give them their copies right there. A lot of highlights. One of the highlights, though, one of the key highlights for me was meeting with our new manufacturer at their booth and receiving we'll call them pre-production samples of Flutter, both the retail and the Meadow-wood Edition. And this was not just a lot of times with manufacturers when you do samples in the early stages of a project, you're going to get a couple tiles, you'll get a couple of these special pieces that you're working through or whatever. They gave me full, complete copies, which is why I call them almost pre-production copies. These are fully playable, top to bottom, everything, including rulebooks and all the special stuff, even the custom insert, which I want to show you. So this is exciting. Certainly for all of you Flutter backers, you should be very happy with what you're about to see. There are, of course, a couple tweaks that we're going to be doing. That's the nature of working through these projects with our manufacturers. So want to go through them and show you and tell you what we think and what we're going to be doing, and yeah, and then we'll see where we're at. So we are. Let me flip to multi-camera. There we go. Flutter Retail Edition, Meadow-wood Edition. I'm gonna push that one over to the side for now, and we will start with the Retail Edition. Now, as always on camera, it's not going to be as easy to see some of the effects. There we go. Oh, look at that. You can see those cool geometric shapes that we put into the spot UV. Really freaking cool effect that we are in love with the results of. Definitely have to... there's a shadow on this tagline, which doesn't really work well, so we're just going to take that off. I want to shrink the dragonfly a little bit. So, little tweaks like that. But all in all, this is going to look amazing on the shelves in retail stores and on your shelf in your gaming room. All right, we've got our rule book, and it's perfection. There's nothing, I would hope that a rule book is pretty simple for a manufacturer to get right. We went through many reviews of this, many editing passes and refinements and layout, graphic design, because this game, that we kind of went to an extra level, because this one is a game that ultimately should be on shelves of some larger retail stores. Unlike some of our other games, which are more hobby game slanted, hobby market slanted, this one could be on some big box shelves. So because of that, we really wanted this rulebook to be resonant with the widest audience possible, very mass market kind of focus. So anyway, they did a great job on that. And now we have our pieces. All right, we've got obviously the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of tiles, and we'll get to those in a second. All right, so there's 5 sets of tiles. Now, one of the things in here, in the retail edition, we had them put in this basic cardboard insert, but the one that you see here is they're gonna fix this. This is definitely weird. It's taller in some areas, and it's like kind of falling over. It's just not quite sized or formatted correctly for the box yet. So that's going to get some work, get some attention. And then, okay, well, let's go right into the tiles. So here we have our... Oh, why are words escaping me here? It was a long trip. Okay, so these are our ladybug tiles. Now, once again, I'm going to try to get the camera to show you the gleam. I'm not able to get the angle right. There we go. Well, kind of. Basically, every single game tile, front and back, has that same effect that you saw on the box cover. Every one of the pollinators on the tiles themselves are spot UV'd. You can kind of see the shine there when I do that. And it just has an amazing effect when you're looking at it in real life on the table. All the pollinators will pop and really stand out. And plus, that's not a normal thing for game tiles to have that level of fidelity or special effects on the actual game components. So we're really proud. And that's 60 of these tiles. They all have that. So those are the ladybugs. This is, of course, the rain bee, the starting tile that starts in the center of the board. I mean, you know, you've seen the game, you know the game, you backed it, so I don't need to explain how it works, but, you know, the spacing, the sizing, the quality of the punch board. This is actually really thick punch board on purpose. And also, we made sure that, like, the pointy, what is it, 60-degree angle, right? When you have this really pointy end of some of these shapes, well, most of the shapes actually, the triangles, we added a little bit of a rounded edge to the top so that what doesn't happen, like if you start doing, you know, kind of hitting it on the table or whatever, you can imagine really sharp cardboard edges would start to fray, and we didn't want that, so we made sure that we had nice rounded edges there. All right, we'll show you some more of the tiles really quick. These are all punchboard, of course, in this version. There's our hummingbird, and once again, this is the last time I'll try to do it here. Try to show you the spot UV effect. There you go. You can see how it kind of blinds you on the camera. Of course, in real life, it doesn't blind you. It just looks really pretty. So yeah, we've got all of our different color hummingbirds here. Blue, red, purple, yellow. And then our dragonflies, red, blue, and yellow. And again, these are just really good, thick punch board, super good quality, vibrant. The colors, we absolutely are in love with the all the coloring that you see here. All right, our majestic butterflies. All right, these are big, so maybe I'll try to just really quick get one last. Yeah, so there you go. You can see how the butterfly just kind of gleams when you hit it, when the light hits it the right way. Absolutely beautiful. Nice red, almost monarch butterflies. Oh, orange, whatever. All right, and lastly, our moths. Okay, so clearly we did some things right as far as the game tiles go. Now let's keep going. What else is in this version here? Of course, we have our, move those tiles over there for now. Of course, we have our tracker boards. And these also, I might be able to do this here. Every one of those pollinators, all the way down the line along the top, have spot UV on them as well. The backside just has the logo. But yeah, so we have the same kind of cool effect there. And that's our green, pink, white, yellow, and blue. And of course, on the tracker boards go the petal tokens. And so every player will have a blue, a purple, a red, and a yellow petal. And you're just going to simply move those up and down as you gain and lose petals in the game. Now, this is the first thing. You're going to hear about several changes, all of which are upgrades to your benefit. There's one where we have to make a change. It's going to remove something, but we're going to add something even better. So in this version, the retail version, right now all of these petal tokens were punchboard, same thickness as everything else. We are replacing those with wood. So you'll see in the Meadow-wood Edition, you're going to see the wooden petal tokens. You're going to see a bunch of other wooden stuff, but the petal tokens in particular, we are going to make those full wood because the way you move and manipulate these on the tracker boards, these little cardboard tokens just felt like the one thing that really was pulling this version back. So we wanted to upgrade that piece in particular. So the pedal tokens will be wood in all versions. Okay, then what? Then we have the pollen tokens. No real surprise here. Really nice punchboard. There's the 1s, the 5s, the 10s, and they, of course, on the other side are hidden so that you can kind of keep your score, a little bit of a secret. They all have these really cool semi-spiky edges, really cool shape. And it's like a white, off-white, almost light gray coloring. Just perfect for what those are meant to be. So the pollen tokens, easy win. Then we have our wooden pieces. Every player, of course, has a wooden bee token that's going to be placed on some of the tiles in the meadow. So you can reserve those tiles or get a bonus when those tiles are enclosed. These are really thick, chunky, I guess we can call them meeples? Beeples. Oh, is that a thing? Did I just make a word? These are beeples now. So the one issue here is they gave us an orange one. There's no orange player, but they're going to fix that. And I don't even know where they got the color orange from, because we gave them the color codes for everything. They must have like punched in the wrong color code. That was supposed to be green, because these match, right? So there's the blue one, there's the yellow one, and so on. They match the player colors. So the orange will not be orange, it will be green. And they are outstanding. All right, and then we have our wooden sun. Beautiful. This will move around. Is the rondelle in view? Yes, it is in view. So the sun will, of course, move around the rondelle, the stacks of tiles, and identify what tile is able to be selected next for free or pay petals to go on to other tile stacks. All right, and lastly are the water tiles. Pollen ponds. And I once again am going to attempt to, we'll take this one here as an example. Every one of these also has spot UV in a triangular pattern. I think you can see it there. Some of the triangles have that gloss, so that when you have these all laid out on the board, you have this like glimmering water effect. It's stunning. It's absolutely stunning. We're just in love with all of this. So what else can I say? I don't want to take too much time on the video. We'll keep this going at a pretty good clip, but this is the retail version, and if this is the worse version, I'm putting in air quotes, then holy cow, this game is going to knock it out of the park. This production we could not be more proud of. So the only real change, aside from a couple things on the box, the only real change is that we're going to upgrade these cardboard pedals to wood, and everything else is what it is. All right, I'm going to shove all of that to the side and make room for the Meadow-wood. And get ready, folks. Most of you, of course, got the Meadow-wood Edition. If you didn't, and if this video makes you want to consider upgrading, we still have time. Happy to work with you to make that happen. All right. Meadow-wood Edition. My wife and I had a hilarious little debate. I mentioned Meadow-wood, and she said, "What? That doesn't exist. There's no wood in a meadow. That's the point of a meadow." And I was like, "No, there's the odd tree or shrubbery or whatever in a meadow." And we looked it up, and she is wrong. If you look up the definition of a meadow, it's very sparsely populated with trees. But there are Meadow-wood sources. All right, the box is almost identical. The only difference is, of course, we have Meadow-wood Edition written all over the place, and the badge on the top here, of course, indicates what all is in this edition. That's special, and these, of course, are the FSC compliant wooden pieces. And let's show it to you. So once again, rule book. It's actually the identical rule book. We did not do a different rule book. Player boards. All right, we're going to come back to these. These are the exact same player boards as the ones you just saw in the retail edition. They were always, that's what we always said, was these were going to be punchboard, whereas everything else is wood. These were going to be punchboard. We're going to come back to this because we are making a couple changes. We're going to remove something, we're going to add something. So we'll come back to that. Okay, as you can see in the box, we have a custom insert. The rondelle is already kind of pre-set in the box in this insert. Along the sides, we have a couple bags for our various tokens, which of course include our petals, our pollen, and our bees. And I also put a copy of the metal sun in here. This is not going to be in the normal box, but most of you, as well, any of you watching this are probably backers, so this was the backer reward, was this metal sun, which is also just gorgeous and has the same kind of triangular polygonal effect in this 3D metal sun, so really nice. Okay, how do I talk about this? Let's start with the bees. Identical. Okay, so no difference other than orange is going to be green again. So these are the same. Pure wood, they're already beautiful. The pollen tokens, you saw the cardboard version earlier. These are the exact same artwork and shape, but now in really cool, thick wooden pieces. They are tremendous quality. They're thick. They're easy to pick up. They're going to be outstanding. So we got all the wooden pollen tokens. Now, these are more of the cardboard petals, so we'll put those off to the side. These are the version of the wooden petals that they gave to us. They're slightly wrong. So here's a yellow, purple, a red, and a blue. Once again, they were the heat printed on both sides. They are really thick and easy to pick up, which is very intentional. They're going to be much nicer if you have one of the tracker boards. These are just going to be so much more pleasant to just add and subtract your pedal power as you go throughout the game. What is not correct is the sides. If I flip all of these onto their side, which because they're so thick is actually easy to do, the sides are all gray here. Those are supposed to be that's supposed to be painted blue all around, and that's yellow, and that's red, and that's purple. So they'll just be a little easier to identify on the table when the wood is fully painted correctly. Other than that small tweak, those are tremendous and awesome to have as full wood, and those are the versions that will also be in the retail for the petals. Pollen is still separate. Pollen is cardboard in the retail and wood here, but the petals will be wood in all versions. Okay, and let's get to the real point of all of this. This unbelievably sexy insert holding all of the wooden meadow tiles in all its glory. Oh, I love this so much. I truly, you guys have heard us a lot of times. We get proud of our stuff, right? We're passionate. I think that's pretty clear. Our passion probably rings true all the time, but to say that we're passionate about this is such an understatement. This production, it's just, we're proud of all of our productions, but this one, it's next level. What came out of this Kickstarter and the project is unreal. Just listen to the clacking of the wood. Oh my God. These are absolutely stunning, these wooden tiles. They are thick, they are quality, they are vibrant, they're stunning. To be able to play with a full wood version of this game is just unreal. There's the same wooden sun, that's no different than the other version. I put the rain bee here in the center because it fits nicely on top of the water tiles. So you can do that, or you can put it up wherever. So the rain bee. And in the center are the water tiles. Now, there is a problem with the wooden water tiles that has to be fixed. You might or might not be able to see it on camera. I'm gonna hold one of these pieces up, but there's like it's like splotchy in the middle. It's just like a big splotch of light blue. Well, there's supposed to be all sorts of triangles of different shades of blue. I don't know if the issue was that the shades weren't different enough, and on the heat printing for the wood, it wasn't able to distinguish the triangles enough. Regardless, the factory's on it. They're working on it. They understand the way it should look, you know, basically like these, the cardboard ones. But other than that issue with the wooden blue water tiles, they nailed this. Man, could not be more pleased with this. And the insert is just outstanding. And we have a nice lid for it as well. That will snap in, and everything stays really nice. You can just take it out, plop it on the table, and away you go. Start playing the game. Okay, now, I said we're going to take something away, and we're going to give something. So if you notice, let's see, I'm going to put the rondelle over there for now. So I've got a bunch of these tiles out on the table. Oh man, I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on these, by the way. Okay, so we got all these cool tiles. And if you'll notice, here's our tracker board. You can probably see on the camera, there's a very different shade of green going on here. The cardboard green and the wood green are just off. Now, that's not because of the artwork. The artwork was the same color green. It's just the process is different. The process to print on cardboard versus wood. I honestly would have expected the wood version would have been darker, but just the way the process works, the wood version green is just coming out lighter. And these all of a sudden look dark in comparison. So now, we can futz with the coloring, we can give new artwork for the player boards and try to make them match better. We have options there. But candidly, just like the retail version, we said we wanted to upgrade the pedals because we felt like the pedals were the one thing holding back the game from feeling complete and awesome. Here in the Meadow-wood version, we feel that way about these. These being Punchboard, when every single other component is solid wood. This is an expensive upgrade, but we are replacing all 5 of these pedal tracker boards with full wood boards. So you will get wood that not only has perfect matching of the color, but more so just the feel of these being in full wood along with everything else. Boom. I don't even know how to explain how elegant this production truly is. So I assume that you're all very happy to hear that we're making that upgrade. Now, we have to pull back somewhere. And it's somewhere that was already starting to become problematic. And that somewhere is, well, it's kind of two areas. One is, let's talk about wood grain. And 2 is, let's talk about foil or silver paint. Because we had, both of those were going to be a thing. Let's talk about wood grain first. All of these tiles right now have printed green. That's not painted green or stained green wood. That's printed green, the same artwork, the same green background texture that's printed onto the cardboard versions. We had originally wanted, and we told you all during the campaign, I even did a test on my own. What we originally intended was that we were going to stain the wood green or blue for the water, and then just print the butterfly and the petals. And then that way, the wood grain shows through all around. Natural wood grain, the texture. That is not an easy process to do for the manufacturer. So we started work. It is possible, but it is possible at a level that probably is not reasonable. So we said, okay, well, we could do a couple things. We can print a fake wood grain, which, by the way, come to find out, is what a lot of games do that have wooden components where they want it to look like natural wood grain. They just make a texture digitally and then print that texture. And when it comes out, you can't actually notice the difference. So we could do that. But we were a little like, I don't know about a fake texture. And then we said, well, why don't we try just printing the same thing that's on the cardboard tiles with the triangular textured background? And it looks amazing. So we may just do that. We are working with the manufacturer to get us a sample of a wood stained version and then what's called UV printed butterfly so that we could see the wood grain show through. We'll see how it looks and we'll see what the process would turn into. But here's the other thing. You maybe can't see it here on the camera, but you can still see the wood grain showing through even with the printed texture. If I hold this, you know, and the light catches it in a certain way, it's like, oh yeah, there's the wood grain. Because it's got those little ridges and bumps because it's wood. So the wood grain is already there. It's just there in a slightly different way than we intended. Okay, so that's one thing, is the wood grain. We probably won't have stained wood, and I think most of you are actually happier with the full green look of the cardboard version anyway. So that may just be a wash or even good news. And the other thing is we had intended that all of the sparkles around the pollinators, in this case the 6 hearts or the 8 circular dots around the butterfly, those were going to be printed in a foil effect or a silver paint. And once again, it introduced on wooden pieces. It's a lot harder to do. It can be done. It's much more expensive. And ultimately, this comes down to trade-offs. What's the best thing for the product? What's the best thing for the backers? And the production that's going to come out. And when we sat back and looked at the wood grain, the silver foil, and struggling with like how do we actually do it from a manufacturing process perspective, and we said, well, wait a minute. These things are still cardboard. This is an expensive upgrade. It's the most expensive upgrade of all the things. And we said, if we're going to do something, this is the one we felt strongly about. So these are going to be wood. Probably won't have silver paint. And the wood grain is already there, just in a different way. So with those caveats, this is the production. We've got some tweaking to do, but this is the production you can expect. Let us know what you think in the comments, because ultimately this is yours. You're the ones that made this possible, and you're the ones buying it. So let us know if you think we made the right decisions or wrong decisions or alternate ideas. We're all ears. But what I can tell you is this will be a treasure on your shelves. You're going to love it. We do. Okay. I will end with a note that over the coming weeks, you're going to hear, we're going to start to send out some announcements about an option that you have as backers. We have 2 small games that have been in development for over a year on the side. They are not games that are going to Kickstarter. They were never intended to. They're essentially straight to retail productions. And we will offer the ability for you to upgrade your pledge if you're interested, and add one or both of those small box games to your pledge. The benefit to you is we're going to give you the best price for the game, and it would have very minimal impact to your shipping. So you essentially capitalize on, we're already sending you a shipment and you already have to pay that kind of base shipping. It might add an extra $1 or $2, but it's not going to add much because they're very small box games. One is called Obelisk, and I'm not going to go into details here in this video because this video is about Flutter, but I'm just letting you know that as part of your Flutter pledge, you will be able to add on Obelisk, which is a 2-player abstract game. And the other is called Boblin's Rebellion. I don't have a version of the box here in front of me, but it's called Boblin's Rebellion. It is in the Dungeon Drop universe, clearly, with our hero goblin named Boblin. And both of those games they're very fast, they're very family friendly, as most of our things are, and may be of interest to you. So look for some announcements on that coming up soon. Okay, I'm going to close out the video. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that this update comes as all good news for you. Let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts or feedback for us. Otherwise, I'm going to go do something else now. Have a good night. Bye-bye.